Business Access.
Business Access TV.
Serious about business.
Welcome to Business Access Television's highlights package of the symbolic signing of Jamaica's Foreign Exchange Code of Conduct.
Governor Brian Winter, Senior Deputy Governor John Robinson, Deputy Governors Wayne Robinson, newly elected JBA President Mr. Jerome Smalling, President of the Cambia Association of Jamaica Heather Ferguson, Executive Director of the Jamaica Institute of Financial Services Darlene Jones, other distinguished guests, members of the press. Good morning and welcome to Bank of Jamaica for the symbolic signing of the BIS FX Global Code by the respective presidents of the JBA and CAJ. The adoption of this code by the authorized dealers and large cambios is another significant step in the FX market reform process, which began back in July 2017. Since then, BOJ has implemented a series of reforms aimed at improving efficiency and transparency, to include the implementation of BFIXIT, that's the Bank of Jamaica Foreign Exchange Intervention Trading Tool, whereby the bank intervenes through select participants in the foreign exchange market via an auction process. Secondly, the implementation of FX net open position limits for authorized dealers and FX position limits for cambios, to ensure soundness and efficiency in the foreign exchange markets and mitigate risk-taking by the players. Improving market intelligence through daily market chats and enhanced reporting requirements to include counterparty name and TRN for large value transactions. The establishment of a foreign exchange market development committee chaired by the governor, and this enables cross-fertilization of ideas of all players in the industry. And of course, getting the conversation started on FX hedging products, such as forwards. At this time, on behalf of the governor, I'd like to extend appreciation to the authorized dealers and cambios for your tremendous support in making the reforms thus far a success. Colleagues, there's more to come as we eagerly await the implementation of the foreign exchange trading platform in early 2020. So without further ado, I now turn over to our esteemed governor, Mr. Brian Winter, for his remarks.
Thank you, Natalie, and I would like to say a special welcome to everybody this morning. It's very good to see you all here for this extremely I think a long-awaited, a timely, and a very important step forward for Jamaica in its economic development. I'm especially pleased to be here today as we recognize the adoption of the BIS Foreign Exchange Global Code by the foreign exchange market intermediaries in Jamaica. The Global Code provides a common set of guidelines to promote the integrity, the transparency, and the effective functioning of the foreign exchange market, which is a vital part of the global financial system and has a turnover of more than $5 trillion every single day. The adoption of the Global Code is one of the reforms to the foreign exchange market that we began in mid-2017, and it was aimed at enhancing the efficiency of the financial markets in Jamaica. That is how financial markets best serve the markets in goods and services, which is where Jamaicans will be employed and be able to grow their wealth, will be able to develop themselves, will be able to contribute to the building of Jamaica. The code the symbolic signing today by the representatives of by the respective presidents, I should say, of the Bankers Association and of the Cambio Association of Jamaica confirms that their members have signed the Global Code, indicating their commitment to its 6 leading areas of principle, namely ethics, governance, execution, information sharing, risk management and compliance, and the confirmation and settlement processes. This historic signing reflects our aims for Jamaica to have a robust, fair, liquid, open, and transparent market for foreign exchange. As Governor of the Bank of Jamaica, I am very happy for what we have been able to accomplish in reaching this stage. We are confident that this move will support an improvement in the public's faith in the foreign exchange market. And now that we are a part of the Global Code, this is a signal that Jamaica is open and ready for business. It's now incumbent on each foreign exchange dealer or Cambio to follow through on their commitment to adopt the principles that Jamaica's foreign exchange market has signed up to. My expectation is that those who wish to compete in the foreign exchange market will be able to enjoy success once they follow the principles that we are here establishing today. I'd like to now welcome Ms. Darlene Jones, Executive Director of GIFS, who will speak to us on the importance of that institution in building capacity for intermediaries in implementing the code. Before I end my remarks, I just want to thank you all for coming as we remain committed to Jamaica becoming the place of choice to live, work, raise families, and do business. Thank you, everyone.
GIFS is extremely proud to be a part of today's momentous occasion, signifying the commitment to integrity and professional standards at the highest level. We feel that this is part of the evolution that the Minister of Finance spoke of at the recent symposium when he said that since we're operating in a market-driven FX market, it requires businesses and the financial institutions to evolve in order to exist. This is indeed a significant advancement in this process. As provider of internationally rated cutting-edge development opportunities for the financial services industry, our mandate is to ensure that the industry is supplied with highly trained and agile cadre of talent to support industry growth. GIFS is therefore pleased to be a support of this milestone with the offering of the FX Global Code Certification Program, which is being offered in collaboration with the Global Association, ACI Financial Markets. This program will enhance our buoyant FX industry with a cadre of certified financial markets professionals qualified to execute at the highest level of efficacy. The program has been to ensure practical working knowledge, and I am emphasizing practical working knowledge, advocated by the principles of the code, with emphasis on the application of high standards of integrity, conduct, and professionalism, with the understanding of why adherence to the market participants to the code is important. We had a first sitting of certification exams in June, and we're now recruiting for the second cohort, which commences in September. We expect to have annual certifications. Persons would need to certify annually, and thereafter with the expectation that this program will become mandatory for the financial markets professionals. Of course, we intend to continue the path by offering supportive programs. We are also in discussions with ACI to offer a dealing certificate. So we commend the FX Working Committee on the direction of the Central Bank on this milestone on agreeing to the principles of the code. This signing by the relevant stakeholders is indicative of Jamaica's commitment to a successful FX industry, one that is comparable to international standards. And JIFS is truly committed to our mission to ensure the continuous building of human and organizational capabilities through research and professional development of knowledgeable, ethical, proactive, customer-driven financial services sector. And we look forward to our continued collaboration in this regard. Thank you so much.
It's now time for what we came here to see, the symbolic signing of the code by the respective presidents.
Thanks for watching Business Access Television's highlights package of the symbolic signing of Jamaica's Foreign Exchange Code of Conduct. Pleasant viewing.
Cameo brings the creative industries to life, highlighting creatives in different fields each week. Art.
My life turns art. I breathe, I eat art.
Fashion. Food.
Without a customer, we're nothing but four walls.
Music. Film. Cameo, only on Business Access TV.
You're watching Business Access TV.
Business Access.
Business Access. Business Access.
Business Access.
You are watching Business Access TV.
Business Access TV.
Serious
about business.
Serious about business.
Welcomes you to the grand opening of Maison Chic's second location here at the Arden Emirates Plaza on Arden Road. I'm your host, Amita Prasadwe. Please stay tuned for highlights. So it's Maison Chic's second store launch tonight. What are your thoughts?
It's good because a lot of time I'm up this side and it's difficult for me to go all the way down that side to get something, so I can just come right here and run over to 212. That's my favorite.
That's your favorite?
That's my favorite, all the time.
So you're a past customer. Talk to me about your experience shopping at Maison Chic.
Oh, it's very easy because I'm not so big on fragrance. So when I enter the store, I'm like, what is it that I want? And somebody just comes over and like, okay, may I help you? What is it that you're looking for? Is it for an event? Or you just want something for like when you're going on the road? And they just help me from there and I'm good.
But wouldn't you want to smell the same for an event or if you're going on the road?
No, that's why I always choose two. One for the regular outing and one for an event. Yeah, because you know when you go to an event, your cologne have your kick like Jackie Chan.
Oh,
it have a kick.
So welcome one and all. This is the official launch of Maison Chic 2. Did you hear what I said? This is the official launch of Maison Chic 2. Maison Chic first opened its doors at the mini mall of Tropical Plaza, and now we're here at Arden Emirates, and this is our second location. We are a fragrance store that takes pride in providing our guests with the utmost respect, the utmost customer service that you can find anywhere. And don't forget that we are also licensed to bring all the brands that we carry. So we have brands like Carolina Herrera, Paco Rabanne, which like these are like top brands from right around the world, right? And our tagline is explore your outer senses and unleash yourself. This explains perfectly what we do and the experience that we bring to all our guests. every single one is important. So whether it be that you purchase a fragrance that costs $2,000 or you purchase a fragrance that costs $80,000, it doesn't really matter to us. Just as long as you're supporting us, you deserve the best and the best customer service from right around the world, right across the board. For us, we always say in the fragrance world that fragrance is the ultimate accessory. So when you're smelling good, people tend to sometimes forget what you look like, right? Am I right? Yeah, everybody can testify to this. And in our culture now, as Jamaicans, we have realized that even our entertainers are bringing this to light. So everybody is singing about what they're wearing, and everybody wants to smell hot, and everybody wants to smell sexy. So, you know, it's a very important thing. It's very important to what we do every day, like to keep yourself clean and to smell nice and to smell sexy is everybody's wish. And right now, I just want to say thank you to everyone that has come out tonight, because this is a very important venture. We have struggled to help persons to understand that, hey, this is where we need to be. Like, you need to walk into a store, and before you can even say hello, like customers or attendants are greeting you. We have the best trained attendants right across the board. Like, when I say best trained, like, can I hear some hello? All right, so right now I'm gonna introduce all our fragrance consultants. Come on, guys, come on, don't be shy. This is our team, and I'm proud to say that all of us here, we take pride in doing what we do. And it's all for you. And I want you to know my staff, like, by name. So from the end here, we have this is a very important night for Samantha, because she actually manages this branch. So right here you have Samantha. And you have Celine. And from the staff of Maison Chic One, that's in Tropical Plaza, we have Cindy. And everybody know me, Pat Marie. And we have the ever so lovely, the girls them sugar digging. And we also have our newest edition, Ches. Give it up for Ches, everybody. So, with all that being said, I'm looking forward for everyone to continue supporting us. And this is a very important part of our program this evening. Now, everybody owns a smartphone. Now, I need y'all to take out your smartphones, please, right this moment. Yeah, it's already out. Then y'all gonna go to Instagram, and it's at MAISONCHIC_JA. Right? Everybody has done that? Yeah, I see some people doing it. Thank you very much. Now follow us. Come to the store, take pictures, come and test, because guys, we provide testers for all our fragrances. So come and test, don't be shy. It's a new age, people. And Maison Chic is bringing Jamaica to life with fragrances. Can I get an amen? Yeah. And you know, we couldn't have such a great store without having great distributors, right? Yeah, so the people that take care of us, make sure we have the samples, make sure we have the gifts. And right now, I'm gonna call to, she's so smiling, I love her. We're gonna call to speak to us now, Marie, and she's our representative from Eurobrands.
Hi, good evening, everyone. Hola. Very special welcome to the Panamanian Ambassador, the Panamanian Chief of Mission, and Mrs. Barrow. I am extremely pleased to have you guys here. Of course, you might, and all of you special guests invited. Guys, you know, it is very important for us to highlight how significant it is in Jamaica to have a second branch for one of our clients. Maison Chic came to us maybe 2 years ago But we have been in business for the past 6 years. You might be wondering what Eurobrands does. We have the license for brands such as Carolina Herrera, Paco Rabanne, Valentino, Nina Ricci, Antonio Banderas, Shakira, United Dreams, Jean Paul, Versace, and many, 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 many. Trust me, our inventory is crazy. So you don't want to go in there. But what is important is I want you to realize that I did say license. What that means, you're probably wondering, do you need licenses to sell perfumes in Jamaica? You need license to sell perfumes, and I'm gonna tell you why. You wouldn't be able to enjoy that wonderful after work kind of, we give you that value added that other companies, of course, cannot do. We not only give you the testers, but we are also empowering our staff. We give value-added products, such as training for all the staff. And the reason why Maison Chic has the best training in the world is because we offer. We do that through our suppliers. Ana Maria Libertini is here from one of our suppliers, which is our main supplier. And we are very proud to have her here all the way. One of the things that I want you guys to realize is that all these efforts cannot be done without the team. Of course, my team is really, really busy tonight, and they're selling fragrances to all our clients, but I have Samantha here that is in charge of our marketing department. Anna is also here, that is our newest member of staff, and is in the administration department. One of the things that I want you guys to realize is that without the importance of the Jamaican market, we wouldn't be here. It is amazing for us to be able to see our clients prosper. So if any of you want to sell fragrances, so you know where to go. If you want to have it done well done. One of the things that I always say to my clients is, if it looks good, if it smells good, if it's good, we have it. If we don't have it, we are working on the license. And if we are not working on the license, it's because we don't think it will make sense in Jamaica. We are the best in the system right here. We are the best in the market.
Good evening, everyone. It is my pleasure to have you here. Working at Maison Chic, it has been really great. The family base, they have been really welcoming, not to mention the clients that we have catered to and the friends that we have made. So some of our, clients, they have become our friends. So with that said, I would like you to celebrate with me new beginnings.
Maison Chic 2!
So guys, now for the important aspect of it. Now for the first time, you can go.
Don't be don't pull another one, another one. Your eyes, they all over me. Don't be shy, take control of me. Get the vibe, it's gonna be lit tonight. No lie, not twice, pull another one. It's alright, I know what you want. The vibe is gonna be lit tonight. No lie,
So you're the new manager for the second location here. Talk to me about that.
All right, well, it has been really, really great working here. I'm kind of the quiet person, shy, and working here, it has forced me to come out of my shell to interact. And trust me, we have some lovely clients that we work with. The customer base here, well, not the customer base, but the staff here at Maison Chic, both at Maison Chic Emirates and at the other location, the first location, we have quite a different variety of characteristics. We have Patrice, who is very animatic. So, she's fun, she's courageous. We have Hubert, we have Celine, we have myself, we have Cindy, and newly we have Ches. So, it has been a great family base.
Talk to me about the fragrances you have available here tonight, and what's so special about this fragrance store compared to another one?
Well, all right. So we have fragrances that are top of the line. So we have Carolina Herrera, we have Valentino, we have Jimmy Choo. And you know, not just that, but what separates us from a lot of different stores is that we do it by law. We do it officially. So we obtain license. So when persons come to purchase and we tell them, say, oh, you know, we have to have the license to carry a specific fragrance. So if you don't see it, it's because we don't have that license. They're like, oh, really? You have to have a license? So that's what separates us. Not to mention the customer service. Like, persons commend us on our customer service. So that sets us apart. Customer service, it's everything, and it's not everyone that can, you know, put on a good show, who can stand, and if someone is being mean or if someone's just having a bad day, you know, you don't, you know, just take their energy and just give it back to them, but really take their energy and, you know, give them a positive vibes. So that's what differentiates us.
You're a customer here at Maison Chic. Talk to me about your favorite fragrance.
Well, there are two of them here. First one for the designer would be Paco Rabanne Invictus, and that would be the Intense. And the second one would be from Bond Number 9. It would be Centerpiece.
It's their second store. How does that make it easier for you to shop?
Well, I work right here on the road, so I can just simply come by during my lunchtime if I feel the need to. However, I normally feel welcome in the Tropical Mall itself.
What's so special about their service here?
Customer service, you have to be big on customer service for you to attract certain customers, and that is one thing that they have captured. They have managed to capture customer service because it's very warm, very friendly, and believe you me, they are very experienced. They are knowledgeable about the fragrances as well.
Talk to me about your experience so far.
So far, it's been a wonderful experience. I've been enjoying every moment of this because it's something new, but I've been selling fragrance since I've arrived here, but it's easy because we actually study the fragrances that we sell, so we know what we are giving to the customers. So at the end of the day, we always please their wants and needs that they come to us about. So basically, I've been here for 2.5 to 3 weeks right now, and I've been savoring every moment.
How was the training?
Well, the training has been very educational. Yes, so they have been training us in ways that I didn't know that my nose could have reached those levels. I didn't know my nose had those skills because we have been learning new things.
Why should people come out to the shop location here on Arden Road or the one in Tropical Plaza?
Tropical is kind of a more established branch, but Arden has a lot of fragrances that maybe you will not find at Tropical right now, but it's a nice branch to come because they have varieties. And it's a new place, so they want it to be as much as Tropical itself because people actually know Tropical already. So basically it's a new experience, but it's similar to Tropical because the customer service is still warm and inviting as in Tropical. So it's a great place to come.
Thanks for joining us here at Maison Chic's second store opening right here in Arden Emirates Plaza. I've been your host, Amita Pasadweb, and you're watching Business Access TV, serious about business.
Ready for cable for as little as $100? Ready for no monthly cable bill? Ready for 10 TV channels absolutely free? Then pick up our Ready TV box at authorized stores for $4,500. Hook it up to your TV set, then top it up with Ready Credit for 1, 7, or 30 days. Buy now and get $1,000 free Ready Credit and start watching your favorite shows. Pick it up, hook it up, top it up. Ready TV. Prepaid cable TV when you're ready. Now serving Kingston and St. Catherine. Limited time offer while stocks last. Conditions apply.
Hi there. On the pages today, we'll share with you significant advances in our healthcare system. We'll also explore healthy lifestyle changes you should consider. Stick around because there's much more to come your way on Jamaica's #1 magazine program after this message and our news of the week.
It just makes sense that while we make hay as the sun shines, we should also save for the rainy days, because even as we all strive to rule our own destiny, life holds some inevitable and unexpected outcomes for which we should be as prepared as possible. Get the help you need now through the National Insurance Scheme. The NIS offers financial security when it's most needed to all gainfully employed or self-employed persons who contribute to this scheme. Whether it's loss of income due to injury on the job, sickness, retirement, and/or death of a breadwinner, there will be help waiting for you and your family. So if you are over 18 years of age and working, visit your nearest Ministry of Labour and Social Security parish office and get registered under the NIS. Start making your contributions in order to reap the numerous social protection benefits when that rainy day occurs. Email prunit@mlss.gov.jm or call 876-922-8000 to 13 for more information.
Hi there, I'm Simone Wolf with your JIS News of the Week. Ground has been broken for construction to begin on a 754-unit housing development at Rhine Park Estate in St. James.
We're not just talking about it. We're building the housing, we're providing the financing, and we're reducing the transaction costs to allow you to own your own home. Owning your own home in Jamaica has never been easier.
The Ministry of National Security is on target to rebuild or rehabilitate 149 of the 186 police stations in operation by March 2020 under a $5 billion project called Rebuild, Overhaul and Construct.
So there's a direct relationship between the performance of police stations and crime in their station areas. In other words, by improving the physical space of the police stations, officers are better able to perform their duties more efficiently, to have more meaningful engagement with the community, and have better crime outcomes as a result.
Prime Minister Andrew Holness has warned primary school administrators that no child should be denied access to an education due to any obligatory high fees.
I am not saying that the parents must not contribute, but sometimes we miss the bigger picture. And the bigger picture is to make sure that no child, regardless of the income status of their household, is in any way deprived of education.
Earlier in the week, the Ministry of Education reported a 1.5% increase in the overall passes for the CAPE and CSEC exams when compared to last year. Meanwhile, over 3,500 students from 17 primary schools across the island will benefit from a numeracy and literacy initiative being financed by the Jamaica Social Investment Fund, JSIF.
We're glad and we're proud to be a part of this type of intervention that is really putting education in its rightful place.
The Ministry of Health and Wellness has activated its enhanced vector control program to include public education, island-wide fogging, and home inspections by 1,000 trained and certified vector control workers.
This is a real challenge that we have, a real burden that we bear as a society, and a burden that as public health officials, as a government, we have to find better ways to respond to. And a big part of that solution is you. You have been selected to drive that army of activity in every community across Jamaica to provide an appropriate response to the Aedes aegypti mosquito and the breeding of that mosquito.
Netherlands-based Jamaican Anne-Marie Brown has committed to provide $1 million annually for the next 3 years to upgrade the Olympic Gardens Health Center in Kingston as part of government's Adopt a Clinic program.
I heard that I was the first individual to actually adopt. And for me, I believe that when God blesses you, because I am blessed, you have to give in the same capacity, the same measure of your blessing. That is how you should give back.
The adoption process basically does a couple of things. One, it says you are volunteering as an adopter to give financial or other types of support to a facility. We will recognize you with a plaque on the wall inside, which we will unveil. Those resources are going towards a needs assessment that is done.
The safety audit of homes for children in state care is now completed and is currently being reviewed by the Child Protection and Family Services Agency. The audit was requested by Prime Minister Andrew Holness following a fire at the Walker's Place of Safety in January last year.
Once Cabinet has reviewed, then the decision will be taken to make it public. But just to say, we have already started to implement some of the recommendations from the audit.
And finally, the International Monetary Fund's resident representative to Jamaica says the country is ready to exit the fund's program come November.
Jamaica has set a new standard for the region, not only for the region, but really for the rest of the world. We've seen a country where the ownership of the economic program was far-reaching. We've seen a country where the broad-based social consensus has allowed two successive administrations to implement sound policy. We've seen a country where we had continuity in the reform and Jamaican people being engaged in the process to be part of that transformation. So we believe these are features that many countries could learn from.
And those are some of the stories making news this week. I'm Simone Wolf.
The latest and best practices in cardiac and vascular treatment and care are being offered in a state-of-the-art medical facility now housed at the University Hospital of the West Indies. Health and Wellness Minister Dr. Christopher Tufton officially opened the facility earlier this year. Let's check it out.
Jamaicans and other people from the Caribbean region, indeed visitors from around the world who may require cardiovascular treatment and care, can expect the best right here at home. The government of Jamaica has been on a mission to retool and modernize the health sector. The University Hospital of the West Indies is among the health facilities undergoing transformational changes to keep abreast of the latest in healthcare technologies.
What we want to deliver to the people of Jamaica is a state-of-the-art facility that will enable us to provide all the healthcare needs of our citizens.
It's important that as a country, we are able to provide that advanced and higher level of care that is needed when some of the most complex medical conditions requiring expertise present to us.
In keeping with the hospital's strategic plan and vision, several new developments have been taking place. Among them is the establishment of a cardiovascular interventional suite with state-of-the-art equipment. The suite of equipment cost $2 million, while another $51.5 million Jamaican dollars was spent on construction and infrastructure improvement.
This is an indication of a desire to keep pace with advances in the technology that's around to ensure the delivery of quality care.
The project, which began in 2018, was established through a partnership involving the Ministry of Health and Wellness, the Culture, Health, Arts, Sports and Education, Chase Fund, and the National Health Fund, as well as international partners, Philips International and International Medex.
It's an amazing achievement. We should be, in a very consistent way, strive to always be on the cutting edge, given our mandate as a regional body to deal with the capacity building mandate that we have.
This modern facility, now available at the University Hospital, enables specialist clinicians to perform minimally invasive tests and procedures to diagnose and treat some of the most complex cardiac and vascular interventional cases.
We have what we call the biplane or dual interventional suite, but what we have done is combine that with echocardiogram within the same suite or an ultrasound. We also have within that suite what we call an anesthetic machine or ventilator that can put the patient to sleep. And we have continuous ECG monitoring. So the combination of equipment combined with the most important, certainly the interventional, the dual biplane system, allows us a wider range of diagnosis and treatment for the patient with the highest degree of accuracy.
It is a multidisciplinary suite. As such, it is equipped for cardiologists, interventional radiologists, vascular surgeons, and cardiothoracic surgeons. Hospital administrators are targeting a gamut of procedures to be performed routinely in the amount of about 50 cases per week. Most are expected to be patients affected by various heart conditions.
But they also come with diseases of the brain, possible strokes, possible abnormalities of the vessels in the brain. They also come with abnormalities of the peripheral vasculature, blockages in the legs, difficulties in the aorta. And so really a lot of the care will speak to cardiac disease, vascular disease.
The suite also has the capacity to deal with conditions such as renal disease and cancers. A number of emergency procedures were among the first set of cases dealt with after the facility went operational in the first half of 2019.
We have done coronary angiograms, we have done percutaneous coronary interventions with stenting, and we've done cerebral angiograms, looking at the vessels to the brain. We have done aortic stenting.
These and other procedures taken on at the interventional suite are making a mark on efforts to tackle the monster of non-communicable diseases and indeed saving lives.
A third of all deaths in Jamaica, between 18 and 20,000 deaths, die from cardiovascular disease. The Health and Lifestyle Survey says that 1 in 3 Jamaicans are hypertensive, which speaks directly to this kind of condition or series of conditions which requires an intervention suite. Nearly 50% of those who are hypertensive are unaware that they are. And it's clear that we have the human capacity to do a lot.
Opportunities also created from this interventional suite for the UHWI's Faculty of Medical Sciences to not only teach, but also put all the innovative healthcare theories into practice.
Looking at the intervention suite in operation, you'll recognize it immediately as a microcosm of what we're trying to achieve in the Faculty of Medical Sciences. If you see the unit in operation, every peg knows its particular hole, and it is working like a machine.
As the funders of healthcare in many instances, we are willing and able to support projects that add value. And I'm confident that this is indeed a very good project. So we at the NHF, we are committed to partnerships, and this one really has led to a good outcome.
It doesn't end there. The blueprint for further development at the hospital has in its design its first 6-story tower, as well as other technologies to come, including upgrading of its MRI suite and the delivery of PET imaging.
On the road to securing the health and well-being of the nation, the responsible ministry has established programs to ensure all of us in this country are in tune with the need for lifestyle practices that reduce our disease burden. The flagship promotional program, Jamaica Moves, encourages healthy eating and regular exercise. Find out more in this next feature.
Get moving for a healthier you is the passionate call to action by the Ministry of Health. And it's creating waves across the country as Jamaica moves to tackle non-communicable diseases (NCDs) through regular physical exercise and proper nutrition. Within schools, the Healthy Lifestyle program is being rebranded through the Healthy Youth Positive Energy Hype initiative.
The reality is that 7 of every 10 Jamaicans would die each year. And we have about 18 to 20,000 deaths in our country each year, die from what we classify as non-communicable diseases, lifestyle diseases, to put it simplistically. And it's all about our physical inactivity and our consumption patterns, our habits.
The Ministry of Health is on a mission to change that by getting every Jamaican to engage in at least 30 minutes of physical exercise daily. In fueling this fitness revolution, the ministry launched the Jamaica Moves campaign under the theme, More Moments, More Memories, and More Life.
If you do what we are promoting, then as the tagline says, you'll have more moments, more time to spend with your family, your friends, do what you enjoy, more memories, capture all of those lovely memories, and more life.
Through promotional events across the island, the ministry is showcasing entertaining exercise workouts that persons can go home and practice. Free medical checks are also being provided.
It's part of the preventative healthcare method, and that's the approach that we're trying to take before we get to the part of the curative side, which is hospital care.
Jamaica Moves is also developing walking trails in each parish and partnering with local walking and running groups. This is all part of the National Strategic and Action Plan for the Prevention and Control of NCDs for the period 2013 to 2018. The plan covers 7 main categories of diseases: cardiovascular conditions, cancers, chronic respiratory diseases, diabetes, sickle cell, mental health disorders, and injuries.
Rarely do we speak about the need to change our lifestyle in our own interests as individuals. And it is cheaper to do that. 1/3 of your income, according to the World Bank, if you get arthritis, diabetes, cardiovascular disease, and all the others that are linked to lifestyle, 1/3 of your disposable income, the World Bank says, will end up being spent on treating those ailments. So it affects the bottom line and your pocket also.
Many persons like this man can testify to the benefits of living a healthy lifestyle, which extend beyond monetary savings.
All my family have diabetes. One night, I see my hand hook up like this, pull in, and get cramp. My feet then start to cramp. The morning, I put on my clothes, get ready and go to the doctor. He do my blood sugar level, and it was 29.5. And I say, oh my God, you almost kill yourself. So the doctor said, I know what to do, Mr. Reed. He says, yes, sir. So I was weighing at the time 285 pounds with a big tummy like this. So he said, go and cut out your belly. And you know what I mean. So I said, I understood, doctor. I'm going to change my diet and I'm going to take up exercise 1,000,000%. So I start off by 1 mile back and forth till I end up doing 10 miles. Exercise is the key to good health. Eat right, change your diet, less carb. Remember to put the running shoes right at your bed. As you step out of your bed, you step in. And the first thing, you drink 1 cup of water before you move. And eat a lot of fruit, eat a lot of greens, and always have 1 glass of blend of the green juice every week.
Dedicating 30 minutes out of every day to physical exercise may seem a big challenge, but begin with just 1 step and you'll find it becomes manageable. Regular exercise helps prevent damage to your heart's artery from high cholesterol, high blood sugar, and high blood pressure that can lead to heart attack or stroke. Medical experts say aerobic exercises also improve the body's blood circulation and reduce the risk of type 2 diabetes while helping to control blood glucose in persons living with diabetes. There are exercises tailored to building muscle and losing weight, increasing strength, and improving flexibility. Corporate Jamaica is on board with the Move for Health, and even more are encouraged to take on the Jamaica Moves Corporate Challenge. It involves companies and their staff signing up and participating in the various run-walk events.
We want to mobilize as many companies as possible. So what we say to you is sign up your company, get registered, endorse the Jamaica Brew brand, which is a national brand. The reality is many of us don't practice healthy living. So we need more people to do it. And by doing it, encourage others so to follow.
Persons can learn about the various Jamaica Moves challenges and events by logging on to the Ministry of Health's website moh.gov.jm or jamaicamoves.com. Staying fit and healthy is everybody's business, so get moving for better health.
As we continue to focus on the subject of safety and well-being, let's turn to the importance of protecting yourself and property from fire hazards. A fire can cause great loss and grief. In this next feature, you'll learn what you can and should not do to keep your property and people safe.
Fire! Fire! My bed, my clothes.
Same script, different day. What's worse, sometimes a human being, even a child, dies in these unfortunate situations. The loss of lives and valuables as a result of fires is impacting those who remain behind. The mental effort to get up from the ashes. Taxpayers too are being burnt, as more dollars are being shelled out for fire emergency operations. Homeowners must implement fire safety plans.
It's important for us to fireproof our homes because we have our families and we normally have strict guidelines as to how you operate within the home, how you store your chemicals as it relates to your kitchen, how you manage your heat sources, how you handle your plugs. So the safety measures that you take as it relates to the protection of your children.
Here are a few situations you must avoid to prevent losing your home to fire. Finally home from a tired day at work. The first thing many people do is get something to eat. Now, this is when a fire safety sin is usually committed, having a cigarette while tired or the stove is left on. What else at home are you not doing safely? Like this, using a computer or mobile phone on the bed. So they should not be used on flammable surfaces such as beds or sofas.
Leaving your cell phones on your bed can trigger the ignition temperatures of that spread or sheet and can actually cause a flame. So we encourage you not to leave your cell phones unattended. It's an active source of heat, and worse when it is charging. It has caused many house fires based on our statistics.
Between 2010 and so far in 2019, 100 children were burnt to death. One of the main causes of these deadly fires, a child left unattended with burning candles.
Based on investigation from fires, we find that most of the times it's because we leave our children unattended, right? So we leave them with the matches, we leave them with the candles, we leave them with the lighters, and we leave them with maybe a laptop or an iPod, something to keep their attention, but they are fascinated by flame.
Here are some other factors found by the brigade to be the major causes of fires within the home. Clothes put to dry at the back of the refrigerator, storing plastics on cooking gas cylinders.
We identify this as a fire hazard because if you notice, it is pretty much close to the source of heat, which would have been the stove itself. All right? So we can have a spark from this. The Jamaica Fire Brigade encourages that cylinders over 30 pounds should be stored outside. So here we have two heat sources, a microwave and a toaster oven. All right? Plus, there is a charger plugged directly between both sources of heat. What we encourage is that there should be sufficient space to allow for air to pass through. In the bathrooms, the heat sources, for example, your blow dryer, you leave those on, running while you do other stuff, while you wash your face, something. But leaving them near your towels and your other materials that can burn, your clothes, that can spark flames.
As for power strips, they should not be overloaded.
So we also encourage that if you're using extension cords, do not run them behind furniture, do not run them under the carpet, because the constant pressure on the cords themselves will cause breakage. Again, if it is near a combustible material, it can cause a fire.
It is crucial that these fire safety measures are adhered to. Every home should have a fire safety plan that is known by each member of the household. Lastly, but very important, keep the numbers of the nearest fire station saved in your telephone contacts.
The general public can make a request for us to come inside the homes, check where you should have a smoke detector, check where an extinguisher should be, because you should have these in your homes as well.
On the board this week, the Visionary Youth Club and iCare Jamaica, in partnership with Sandals Foundation, Sandals, Beaches and Grand Pineapple Negril, will be hosting its back-to-school treat on August 24. It will be held at the Darliston Primary School. Save the date. There will be a lot of rides, games and prizes along with school packages. The back-to-school treat will start at 10 a.m. Also, the Clarendon Health Department is being relocated from 1 Muirhead Avenue on the grounds of the Maypen Hospital to 1 to 3 Jackson Street in Denby, Clarendon. The new location is beside the Denby Primary School. The Health Department will begin offering administrative services from its new location on Monday, August 19. All other services, including food handler certification, mental health, diabetic retinopathy, and child guidance clinics, will remain at their current location on the Maypen Hospital compound. Operation times remain the same. The phone numbers for the Health Department also remain the same. And residents living in and around Spanish Town St. Catherine are being asked to gear up for participation in the Spanish Town Culture Quiz. The competition is put on by the Diana L. Walters Charity Foundation. It will be held from October 21 to December 21 this year. For more information, visit the foundation at 9 Chester Avenue off Brunswick Avenue, Spanish Town St. Catherine, or call 876-853-2497 or 876-336-2230. And that's all for our community notices this Saturday. If you have something to share on our notice board, give us a call at 876-922-8680 or email cbishop@jis.gov.jm or kferguson@jis.gov.jm.
We've come to the close of Jamaica Magazine for today, but we hope you've been enlightened and ask that you do join us again tomorrow for more. Until then, continue to watch these and other programs by logging on to our website, jis.gov.jm, or subscribe to our YouTube channel. You may also find us on all the major social media platforms. On behalf of the entire production team, I'm Adrian Atkinson. Thanks for watching.
This has been a production of the Jamaica Information Service, the voice of Jamaica.
The University of the West Indies campus, Mona, has long been known to provide a wide range of housing solutions for full-time students, but things have evolved. Under a new public-private partnership agreement, 138 Student Living is offering even more solutions. Find out more on this episode of Home Sweet Home. I'm here with Jason McKenzie, Director of the Office of Student Services and Development. Now, Jason, we're going to talk a little about accommodation on campus. Was that something that you always provided?
Absolutely. The UWI is very keen on ensuring that students who come to the campus are comfortably housed. And so we have in excess of 4,000 rooms on the campus. Wow. And we seek to ensure that our students are able to benefit from comfortable living while having access to the facilities on campus. So easy access to the library, easy access to classes, a secure environment while being able to grow, to learn, and to interact with their peers from all across the world. So we have 10 halls of residence on the campus with varying styles of accommodation at different costs as well. But importantly, our students are able to benefit from a living, learning community where they are interacting with students from different backgrounds, where they're able to benefit from a range of developmental programs that we have organized specifically for them as they continue on a journey to become the distinctive UWI graduate.
Now, 138 Student Living is now on board giving supplemental accommodation to the university. Give us some feedback about that partnership.
We have in excess of 18,000 students at the Mona campus. And it's important that we increase the number of rooms or beds to be able to adequately accommodate students who are interested in living on campus. And so we have a wonderful partnership with 138 Student Living that has come on board to build some modern, new facilities to help us with accommodating our students. So it's a growing partnership. The facilities are really world class, and our students do enjoy living in those facilities. And we continue to grow together as we continue to seek to meet the housing needs of our campus.
Well, Jason, thank you so much for speaking with us. With that background of accommodation on campus, it's time for us to meet 138 Student Living.
I'm John Lee. I'm chairman of 138 Student Living Jamaica Limited. In my former life at PricewaterhouseCoopers, I spent a number of years doing public-private partnerships. And what that means is that it's bringing an industry, creating an industry or an entity that will provide public services that government or quasi-government institutions would ordinarily provide, but because of the lack of funding, they're going to the private sector. I've always felt that there is a need for student housing, primarily because my wife has done a number of developments around the Mona area, and most of the people who became tenants were students. So it led us to this. So our mandate is to provide roughly 2,300 rooms over a 4-year period that world-class, that will attract students who are interested in paying for full fee courses. PPPs is a structure that is sustainable, and it provides much needed infrastructure when the country cannot afford to finance it ordinarily.
We are now joined by Anthony from 138 Student Living, who is very excited to tell us about the company. Welcome, Anthony.
Thank you. Thanks for having us.
So talk to us about 138 Student Living and what exactly it is that you guys do.
We're a listed Jamaican company. We provide world-class accommodation at the UWI Mona campus. Essentially, we finance, construct, and operate housing accommodations on campus. We do this through a concession agreement with UWI. And just to give some of the viewers a background, obviously, a concession agreement is just a contract between a private company, 138, and an institution, UWI, for the private company to operate on the institution's premises or on their jurisdiction, subject to certain conditions. These conditions now, on UWI's side, they are to provide lands for our buildings, and they guarantee 90% occupancy in all our buildings. And on our side, we are to finance, construct, and operate over 2,300 rooms on campus.
Okay.
So that's 138 basically in a nutshell. This partnership with UWI, one, is a medium to develop education in Jamaica, two, to develop the facilities at UWI. As well, the partnership provides a unique investment opportunity to all our stakeholders, as the project provides stable returns to all our partners, investors, and financiers.
And tell us about the funding of these sorts of projects.
Okay, well, obviously we're a listed company, so for the initial funding, it was done through an IPO. About 3 years ago. For the buildings now, we have used a combination of short-term construction loans with the Jamaica Mortgage Bank. These are then closed out through the issuance of medium-term and long-term bonds, which the take-up has been very good. So to date, the project has been extremely successful. All operational, construction, and financial targets have been met as outlined in our prospectus. So at this stage, 2 years in the game, we are where we need to be.
And other than student living, I understand that there are some other products that you guys offer. Tell us about those.
Okay, well, definitely. At our core, we are accommodation providers, so we only offer accommodations. But we like to view ourselves as having 3 classes of products. So firstly, the student living, as you mentioned. This is currently a pool of 888 rooms where we house undergraduate students for 9 months to 1 year, or students in general, I shouldn't say undergraduate.
Right.
So to qualify for that, obviously, you just have to be a student enrolled on a UWI course. Then we have a pool of 120 rooms for short-term rentals. This is done at our Jeralela property, which you will do a tour with Dominic, our project coordinator. We have a pool of 48 rooms, and then he'll also bring you to another one of our facilities, the 138SL Halls of Residence. That's another 72 rooms, so that accounts for 122 rooms available year-round for short-term accommodation. Thirdly, we have our summer program. This is quite exciting, where obviously during the period June 1st to August 15th, all the students depart and UWI becomes a virtual ghost town, so to say. So 138 in tandem with UWI, we've decided to revitalize summer on campus because, as Jason would have probably mentioned, we have over 18,000 persons on campus, And over the summer, this probably drops to like about 5,000. So for this summer and for summers going forward, we'll be pushing marketing over 3,000 rooms on campus, and it accommodates all budgets from as low as US $20 for rooms.
And then define short-term rentals. What's the duration we're looking at?
With students, it's 9 months to 1 year. So essentially, we define our short-term rentals as anything from daily to 6-9 months, really.
A night, or it could be a couple months.
Precisely.
But before we go any further, Anthony, we take our first break on Home Sweet Home, and when we return, more 138. Stay tuned.
Business current affairs you can relate to. Frank, credible discussion. On Point with Kalila Reynolds and Dennis Chung. Dissecting the issues, offering solutions to Jamaica's challenges. On Point, Thursdays at 8 p.m. on Business Access TV.
Have you seen it? It's BATV Live. Live streams of business news weekdays at 7:30 p.m. Stay on point Thursdays at 8 p.m. with our Business Current Affairs show. And Weekend Business Report Saturdays at 7:30 p.m. Wherever you are. Log on to our Facebook page at Business Access TV or visit our website at batvja.com. Live and at your fingertips. Business Access TV. Serious about business.
Welcome back to Home Sweet Home. If you're just joining us, we're at UWI Mona looking at some of the living solutions offered by private company 138 Student Living. Now, I know you're eager to see the facility, so to help us with that and take us on a little tour is Dominic. Welcome, Dominic.
Nice to meet you.
Hi, nice to meet you too.
Okay, so this right here we have is our Leslie Robinson Hall. It is 3 halls. This is the primary halls for undergraduate students. Each hall contains 144 rooms. And then right by here we have our Gerald Layla flats, which we use for short-term accommodation. So we're going to head over to our short-term accommodation now.
Okay.
Okay, so each resident needs a key card to have access to the building. Mine is in my wallet, so just put it against the sensor.
Okay, so you don't even need to take it out.
No, you don't.
That's good.
After you? Okay. Yes, so this is the living area, and you can have a seat and I'll run through exactly what we have to offer. All right?
Oh, this thing is so comfy.
Yes, so first of all, we offer very comfortable seating, all right?
Not that I didn't think it would have been. It's very comfy.
So whenever you're ready to sit and relax, cable television, you can just sit and enjoy yourself. And the point to know, Candy, is that here used to be for postgrad and it was renovated. The capacity was increased and we transformed it into the now Gerald Layla flat.
Okay.
Also, as you can see, we offer our kitchen facilities here. So you have a stove, have a microwave, everything comes with. And then you have 4 rooms to our cluster. So this is the shared area for the 4 individuals staying here. However, each room has an in-suite bathroom, a closet, a bed. We provide a fan as well, And then we also provide linen, so shower curtains,
Right, everything.
toiletries. So the room is fully booked and ready for the resident to stay with us.
And each room can facilitate just one person?
No, we also do provide double occupancy as well. So what we do is to provide 2 single beds in the room and they'd be able to stay in there as well. Also, we do have cases where couples come. We charge a double occupancy rate of $97.50 and they can stay on a double bed. And a special feature of our short-term accommodation is that we provide housekeeping service. So what happens is that the housekeepers come in, they clean here every day. However, on special requests, you can also ask them to clean your room and they'll come in, change out the linens, the towels, do the laundry for you, as well as to fix up the room on your
And
request.
is that an additional cost to the persons who are staying here?
Well, with our rack rate of $65, it's included.
Okay, not bad at all. Is it that the people living in this cluster, do they have to know each other? Is it a group thing, or can 4 separate people book the same unit?
Okay, well, another feature of our short-term accommodation as well is that we tend to put like-minded individuals together. However, if it's a group occasion, we'd put the groups together in clusters.
And what about meals? Do I have to source my own meals?
We actually offer a meal plan for our guests, so we partner with SCR and they provide breakfast, lunch and dinner for our guests at an additional cost.
And SCR is?
The senior common room.
Okay. Alright. Okay. Oh, thank you very much. It's a very nice setup. Oh, and a nice comfortable bed too. I definitely like the fact that all the bedrooms have their own ensuite bathroom.
Alright, so what was your thoughts on our accommodation?
No, I really like it. Very convenient, very cute setup, something for everybody in there. The individual bathrooms, like I said, I really like that. So
I'm really glad that you enjoyed it.
thank you very much. Hi guys. Hi.
Hello. Okay, so right here we have a group from Austria. Remember we spoke about groups and like-minded people? So we put them together and this is their cluster.
The good thing about here is like the track is really close, so we don't have to like drive really far, and we've got everything we need here.
And the weather is nice.
Yeah, the weather is nice, so we can train and yeah.
Okay, great. Right, so it's down here.
Yes, so it's newly built. It has a nice feel to it as mentioned before and it is located close to the police station. And as we've been saying, we offer exceptional services and every block on this side has its own elevator.
Oh, lovely.
Yeah, man, so we don't have to do the stairs, you know?
We don't have to do the stairs.
We're stepping it up, stepping it up.
Left or right?
All right, so as I've been saying here at 138, we take security very important. So we have an access card for each floor. So someone on the 3rd floor wouldn't be able to get on this floor. After you. No problem. All right, so over here by our 138 SL Halls of Residence, the first thing you can notice, it's a bigger space, right? As mentioned earlier, it's a cluster of 12. We have 6 single room on one side and 6 double room on the other side. Okay. All right, so at any given point in time, we can have 18 persons here on the floor. Right. All right. Well, we also have a kitchen area. It's way bigger than by Jarlila. We can go into that later. It contains the same setup as well as 2 additional burners, obviously to facilitate the huge amount of people. Yes. Each room has its own in-suite bathroom as usual, the miniature fridge, closet, almost the same setup, but over here has a newer feel as it's been recently built up. All right. We also have the cupboards over there where students can hold their food items and so on, just in case, because as I said, we're dealing with a lot more people over here, so we need these things in place for that. We also offer deep freeze. As I was saying, storage, we have a lot more people here, so you can also store the stuff in the deep freeze as well. All right, so now we can go over and head over to the rooms.
But quick question, do you guys still try to group like-minded people when it's a group of 18? I mean,
definitely. As a matter of fact, currently on our 4th floor, we have one side which we put our nurses, and then the other side we have for our athletes. So we still do group like-minded folks together, yes.
And then another one there. Okay.
And that's it for our tour with Dominic, project coordinator of 138 Student Living. When we come back, we wrap things up with Anthony.
The business community has suffered tremendously due to extortion. Some have not just lost their businesses, their jobs, but lost their lives. This is extremely impactful to the growth of our country and to the progress of our people. We are our brother's keeper. Let's put a stop to this. No more use of force. No more use of fear. No more extortion. No more.
The Good Life, your trusted source for useful health and wellness information, lifestyle tips for the mind, body, and soul. Tune in Tuesdays at 8:30 p.m. on Business Access TV.
They say it takes a village to raise a child, but the world will one day need the leadership of that child. The time you spend with your child matters. It stimulates their minds and shapes the way they act. Talk with your children. Help them to better understand the world around them and to value what is truly precious. Above all, the most valuable gift you can give them is love. Play, talk, teach, love. Take the time. It makes all the difference. A message from the Parenting Helpline and Ad Council Jamaica.
It's season 12, and Wealth Magazine Business Access is here to keep you business savvy. With an impressive mix of some of Jamaica's most inspiring business moguls, we continue to keep Jamaica informed, empowered, and ready to dominate. Tune in Sundays at 5 p.m. only on BATV.
You're watching
Business Access.
Business Access.
Business Access.
Business Access TV.
Serious about business.
So I'm back from the tour. You guys have wonderful facilities, I must say. Very impressed.
Thank you.
And very sufficient for large teams, medium-sized teams, as you said. So good job.
Thank you.
So what prompted the decision to do short-term rentals and to explore this outside of just regular student living?
Short-term rentals was kind of an emergent strategy when company leadership realized that there was a need for housing outside of the 1 year and 9 month thing. For students. There are many users of UWI that needed facilities for much shorter periods of time. So first it started out with 48 rooms and then we realized more was needed. So it grew to 120. And then rooms are thrown into the pool depending on the uptake of undergraduate students.
Other than event planners, who are you guys targeting? Who is your target market?
Event planners, that's a key one. One of the reasons why we target event planners because of the facilities all at one place at UWI. Obviously, there's 3,000 rooms, 120 available year-round. There is sporting facilities for sporting events, conference and meeting facilities for business events or anything of that nature. Intellectual facilities, you can host conferences, symposiums, chemistry labs, medical labs. There's a supermarket here. U even has a beach, marine biology lab. There are many things you can do on campus with 138 and UWI. The cluster style setup of our accommodation is conducive to sporting groups and teams, or large to medium-sized groups. So those are two target markets. As well, parents of students, outpatients at the hospital, visitors, guest lecturers in academia. In addition to all of that, with the group-style facilities, we target church groups for retreats and conferences, large groups that have interest in UWI's facilities.
What amenities do you usually highlight?
24-hour security, that's one of our strong selling points, as you'd have seen with Dominic, access card, entry to the building, and then key to the front door as well as your room door. Another one of our strong selling points is, I like to say, the cluster style accommodation. It's a nice community feel. That's why we target groups. And I think the main thing is the plethora of facilities here at UWI. I mean, there's literally everything here.
It's a one-stop.
Exactly.
And what about the price range for the rooms? And if I pay and stay here, am I able to use the facilities of UA freely?
So our rack rate is $65 per night. That is the official price.
Okay.
But we are flexible in regards to the target market, large groups. And
Right, so depending on how many people in my group, I can get a cheaper rate.
Right. In terms of the facilities, okay, the pool and the gymnasium, yes. But in terms of UWI's wider facilities, that will have to be kind of pre-booked.
Okay.
And that's handled between ourselves and UWI. Okay. So you tell us what you need and then we will put it together for you, essentially. Okay. Yeah.
Now, college students are known to get a little rowdy sometimes.
Right.
How do you address any concerns by people who may be staying here, about living amongst college students?
There is complete segregation. So short-term guests aren't...
We don't stay in the same facility with
Right.
them. Okay.
Obviously, we have 120 rooms carved out for year-round short-term rentals. And that's separate from the...
Separate meaning a whole different building?
Yes.
Okay.
You'd have seen 2 doctors from North America. They would be in a cluster of 4 together along with 2 other doctors.
Right.
I believe they're in a cluster with 2 other doctors
Right.
from Turks and Caicos and the Bahamas.
So tell us, what is next for 138? What future plans do you guys have and what can we expect?
Wow, I mean, it's exciting times. Obviously, we're just 2 years into the game. So, I mean, under our concession agreements, we still have a few more rooms to develop. So currently, we are constructing 384 rooms at Irving Hall, where a memorandum of understanding was actually signed with University of Technology. So we could be replicating the same product and PPP strategy over UTech as well. And there are some talks to expand into the Caribbean.
Oh, lovely. That would be nice.
Yeah, it's exciting times for the company, our shareholders. Yeah.
Well, Anthony, thank you so much for joining us on this episode and talking to us about 138 student living. I definitely learned a lot and I'm excited to see your future plans. So thank you very much.
Thanks for having us, Danny.
I hope you enjoyed this episode of Home Sweet Home. Until next time, I'm Candy. Bye.
Caring Hands Season 3 continues to effect change in a changing environment.
Many of us were raised by grandmothers, right? So, I mean, we know the wisdom that these people have.
Going beyond business.
The little leaders of today are our leaders of tomorrow. And with the proper education, we'll have very good leadership coming from that.
That's Season 3 of Caring Hands, creating change and shaping lives, every Sunday at 5:30 p.m. on Business Access TV.
The Good Life, your trusted source for useful health and wellness information, lifestyle tips for the mind, body, and soul. in Tuesdays at 8:30 p.m. on Business Access TV.
It's season 12, and Wealth Magazine Business Access is here to keep you business savvy. With an impressive mix of some of Jamaica's most inspiring business moguls, we continue to keep Jamaica informed, empowered, and ready to dominate. Tune in Sundays at 5 p.m. only on BATV.
You're watching Business Access. Business Access. Business Access. Business Access TV.
Serious about business.
You're watching Business Access TV.
Business Access.
Business Access. Business Access. Business Access.
You are watching Business Access TV.
Business Access TV.
Serious about business.
Serious about business.
We're here in the little seacoast town of Anota Bay in the parish of St. Mary for the Ministry of Tourism's official opening of Markingstone Beach. Business Access TV brings you highlights from Tourism Minister Edmund Bartlett and other stakeholders. Stay with us.
We have recognized, and the Minister has instructed us to ensure that we are rehabilitating and developing beaches across Jamaica to ensure that there are enough public beaches for our people to, I know sometimes they call us dryland tourists, but for us to enjoy the benefits of this beautiful country. Today is a continuation of openings of various tourism developments across St. Mary, and the minister and his entourage have been just coming from Rio Nuevo village, which is quite impressive, and I overheard the minister saying how impressed he was with it. And so it's a message to St. Mary to say, listen, tourism recognizes you and we are here facilitating the development. Now, tourism is one of those industries where it requires partnerships. And so no matter how much we do from the ministry, it requires partnerships with stakeholders, partnerships with municipalities, partnerships with the people to ensure that the standards are maintained and are as high as possible. And we build on the legacy that we have here in Jamaica as one of the best destinations in the world.
Well, this transformation here at Markingstone is one of many that we're doing across the island. You see, tourism is changing quite a bit with the advent of technology that opens up an opportunity for the average Jamaican to actually benefit from tourism. It's not only a case where they need to work inside a hotel or to supply a hotel, they can also benefit from renting out their space. Because Jamaica, thankfully, we've been blessed where anywhere you go in Jamaica, you can find a beach or a river or a waterfall or a mountain. You can have some great experience, and with the natural weather and our natural hospitable culture and so on, we end up pretty much having an industry, a resource that's available to every Jamaican to become a tourism entrepreneur. So how that is enhanced is if all the beaches that are dotted across the island are then developed, so that restroom facilities are in place, so one, the environment is protected, but we demonstrate respect and provide that convenience to anybody who uses the beach and so on. So, you know, seating areas, parking spaces, security, lifeguards and so on. And that's what we've done here, and we are doing across Jamaica to open up Jamaica more. It's not only on the north coast, or it's all over Jamaica. We want to make it a case where tourists and the diaspora and Jamaicans are enjoying what we've been blessed with naturally. So that is the purpose of investing in beaches like the Markingstone Beach and getting the result that we have today.
I have visited this facility. I passed by here just the other day before the work was complete, but on entering the gate I was wondering, am I really at Markingstone Beach? And that is a testimony to the work that has been done here. I noticed I saw some persons out there enjoying the facility already, so it is a good sign. We are eternally grateful to the Tourism Enhancement Fund for spending, I won't mention the figure, maybe the minister will do that later, but significant funds on this facility. And as I said, it looks like a first-class beach. Those of us who know Markingstone before would understand why I am so excited based on what I have seen. The St. Mary Municipal Corporation has owned this facility for a long time. Although, Minister, this is one of the properties that is everybody knows belongs to the St. Mary Municipal Corporation. However, it is in the name of Commissioner of Lands. We have interviewed interested parties in terms of leasing this facility because we don't have the capability to run such a facility. So we have interviewed persons, we have sent to the Ministry of Local Government for them to approve so that we can have somebody run the facility and run it properly as to how it should be.
What does growth in tourism mean for Onoto Bay?
Well, it means a lot in that we will be bringing more tourists here, then we'll provide more jobs and more opportunities for our locals. So it is indeed important to us. This facility that has been renovated, we hope, based on the individual will run it, we hope it will be run in a way that we will actually get tourists here as well as locals. But apart from this facility alone, we are looking at other heritage tourism developments throughout the parish, and we took the minister on a tour of an area in Portmore, a very historic area, where we are trying to do a tour of that area. So we have formed a committee and we are looking into getting some funding from the Tourism Enhancement Fund to make that tour a reality.
The corporation has authority to manage the beach. How will the upkeep be guided?
The upkeep will be guided by statuses under the Local Governance Act and also our act in relation to our Building Act, the Town and Country Planning Act. We use all of those because as a local building authority, local planning authority, we also work along with other state agencies to manage our beaches, to manage our public spaces. So not only us will be responsible for the management of the beach, but we will also be using guidelines from other state agencies. We'll ensure that the park has the requisite number of lifeguards, has the requisite safety facilities in place, for example, your backboards, your first aid kits, as I said, your lifeguards. As you can see, the lifeguard stands are already here. So we are ensuring that the safety of the members, not only of the workers, but of the general public, are taken into consideration, the security of the site in itself. We're going to ensure that the beach and itself will be developed into a recreational space, a park, so that the locals for not only Onoto Bay but the greater St. Mary will also be served and our visitors to this country.
What other important purpose does this transformation serve for the people of Onoto Bay?
It serves a very important purpose because it is an active open space. It's somewhere that you'll need for relaxation and rejuvenation because you work in a very stressful environment no matter where it is, and you are going to need a space where you can relax, you can congregate with your family, with your friends. So this is a facility that is needed for any community to fully develop an active open space area. This, I believe, is one of the premier sites in this area. It is not only going to be used as a beach park in itself, it's one of the areas that is going to be used, for example, like for your parties, because it is a little outside of the town, so you won't have that congestion in the town itself. So it will be used for that sort of facilities. It is well-needed facility, and we will endeavor to not only maintain as it is right now, but we'll also be developing for other facilities within this area.
We're gonna go for a break, but when we return, more from the Markingstone Beach in Onoto Bay, St. Mary.
Island Hour.
Bullseye for Eyes Summer Sale. Try your luck at the Bullseye and get up to 40% off your frames. Land on the Bullseye and your eyeglasses are completely free. This summer, July 15th to August 31st, everyone is a winner at Island Eyewear. Conditions apply. Call 630-1180 or visit islandeyewear.com. Island Eyewear. Your price, your style.
And we're back. Thanks for staying with us for the coverage of the opening of the Marking Stone Beach held in Annotto Bay, St. Mary. Here's more.
You know, it also gives me great pride and a pleasure to be here today. And why this is so, I was whispering in the ears of the minister that this beach here has a special place in my heart as well. I can't tell you why. I mean, I've told him why, and I told Bob also. I can't tell nobody else. But when I was a little boy, I used to come to this beach regularly, and then when I became a young man, I used to come to this beach, but not just in the days, but in the nights as well. So you can understand what I'm talking about, right? Oh, yeah. But what is so pleasing is for the facility to be brought up to this level. And when I toured along with the minister, especially in the bathrooms, this is not just a hurry come up bathroom. This is a bathroom that can rival any facility in the world. I mean, the bathroom is well put together. And Bob, this is something that I hope, I may have mentioned it before, and I guess all the speakers will mention it, that building these properties is one thing, but to maintain them is the other thing. We want to know that when you come to facilities, you feel good that you're in the right place, not just somewhere that you just have to use. And this is a country, we're building a country based on excellence. Marking Stone Beach is also a manifestation of the quality development, and I know that Bob, with his expertise, when we come back here, Minister, this lawns will be pristine with green grass and flowering plants all around. And I was mentioning to the councillor earlier about the almond trees. You know, when these grow and become good shades across these seats, it will be a sight to behold. And that's what we want. We want facilities that we not only build, but we are proud to call our own, because we're building this new Jamaica. And before I come down, I want to again say special thanks to the minister. This is one minister, when you ask him about projects that means Jamaica well, he never says no. And I remember just coming into politics, and I asked him about several developments across Southeast St. Mary. And I'm proud to say that he has responded so well, and the people of Southeast is very thankful to you, sir. And look for your continued showering us with your blessings.
We welcome this particular development, as with most developments that are taking place across Jamaica. But this development is special for me in a number of ways. As the Member of Parliament for this area, I mean, the development is welcome, but more importantly, I was born here, and this was one of my beaches that I used to visit when I was a little boy. And you know, I grew to love and appreciate this particular area. As you can see, it's very idyllic. It's away from the hustle and bustle, and it is very suitable for a day of full relaxation and fun. So we welcome it.
What does this transformation mean to you?
No, it means a lot, because what is happening and what has happened to a number of small communities across Jamaica, sometimes the development doesn't pass through or is not evident in those areas. So having something like this now shows that development can come to the local areas, and therefore it's important for us to appreciate this sort of development. And not only that, it might be a catalyst for other developments that will take place in a particular area. As you can see, it sits on the corridor, a major thoroughfare through this constituency.
How will you ensure sustainable management of this here beach?
Well, one of the things which we are very big on is not just the development of these facilities, but the maintenance of these facilities. And what has happened so far, which is quite remarkable, we have had a number of persons, I get to understand, that were interested in this facility, and they have selected one such individual now who is from the area as well. So this is somebody from the area who not only has a business interest, but has a personal connection to it. So the facility is for us in Onoto Bay. I'd like to say thank you very much to the Minister, to TEF, and all the persons who have participated in this, to the Municipal Corporation, the Mayor, and the Councillor of this particular division, which is the Onoto Bay division, for their work in getting the facility to what it is. And we are happy for it, and I'm sure going forward, the persons who will use the facility will also find that it is a welcome addition to what we have. There are a number of other things which are going to come about in Southeast St. Mary that I'd like to say will happen in a very short time. We're getting a number of things done finally in Southeast St. Mary, because we believe that we can take our pride and rightful place in this development and this Jamaica that we are creating.
I'm therefore pleased to be here today to hand over an upgraded Marking Stone beach to complement your offerings. The beach was upgraded by the Tourism Enhancement Fund at a cost of $38.3 million as part of its National Beach Development Program. And I want to make the point that sometimes comments are made in advance of action known to begin, and the actions, when they follow, gives an impression as though they are being driven by another direction. But these series of beaches that we are going to be opening and handing over between now and the end of the year makes the story and tells the tale very well, that this represents work done, activities in train, and now work completed and ready to be handled. So we have done the upgrading here, not on the basis of providing a beach facility, but on the basis of providing a complete entertainment facility and an attraction in its own right. And when you look at what is done here, and you see that we have constructed a guardhouse, 3 gazebos, well-appointed restrooms, and I want you to take note of that. When you finish, go and look in those restrooms. And that's what we're talking about, because it makes no sense to have a wonderful beach and a beautiful facility, nice eating areas, and then afterwards you go to another place. We want you to go to a place equally appointed and well prepared and fit for purpose. We have parking facilities as well as landscaping work, among other significant improvements that you will see. We recognize that beaches are a great resource of tourism. In fact, our scenic beaches attract a large number of domestic and inbound tourists. This is why we have ensured that the TEF has committed to transform one beach in every parish to a quality recreational space. And remember the point I'm making, not to have a nice beach, but a quality recreational space. And it must operate at the highest and best international standards for a country such as ours. And it must be available to residents and visitors alike. So to date, we have spent $104 million for 3 beaches in the overall beach program. And the next one we will open properly is going to be licensed, where we spend $49 million to upgrade. And then we're going to do Boston Beach, and we're going to do Winifred Beach, and we are going to do other beaches in the West, because the West has to be touched too, and we are going to be doing beaches along the South Coast as well. Those of us who have leadership in the political arena have a duty to guide and to lead and to enlighten and to ensure that that higher level of presentation is always kept in sight, and not to be part of any process that will help to lead people to be left out of the mainstream of development because our facilities are substandard. And as minister, I'm committed to that process. And this ministry will continue through the efforts of the TEF to upgrade and continue to enhance the quality of the Jamaican product, and to ensure that our ordinary Jamaican entrepreneurs, our little man, as we call it, have a nice, decent place to peddle their wares, where they can wash their hands and have proper conveniences, and they can feel and move around with air and space. And the visitors who come can also leave with a good impression and say when they leave Jamaica, what a wonderful little country that I have been. It was a joy to go to the markets in Jamaica. But we know that change is never a linear process, and that change sometimes requires a little bit of hand-holding. And we know that change sometimes causes a little bit of disruption. And sometimes we don't understand it, and when we don't understand it, we become suspicious of it. So we are going to work with our partners, and we're going to make sure that we hold hands and do it right, and do it together, and do the transformation from poverty to prosperity.
We pride ourselves in being a destination of sun, sea, and sun. And so we bring the world here for a beach experience as well. So it's a big part of the product in Jamaica. But we are careful to note that it represents a huge part of our resources that are being consumed by our people, and that the access represents an important route to ensuring that there's harmony between visitors and locals. So we have moved with energy and haste to prepare and fix local beaches that are appropriate and adequate and appointed for the purpose, so that our people will not be left out and we will feel less catered to because the beaches are not up to the standards.
How does this help or harm locals in the tourism sector?
We are now looking at management to ensure that there is good management here, so that the maintenance of these facilities can be secured and the further upgrading of what we have can be realized.
Who is responsible for the management, and how will it be guided?
Well, we developed the beach on behalf of the St. Mary Municipal Corporation, and what the Municipal Corporation has done is to then go to tender and procure and find a suitable person to manage and to handle the facilities here. So they have done that, and they tell me that they have found someone, and we will be looking to ensure that they keep up to the standard that we want for the beach.
How much of a challenge was the transformation for this beach in particular?
It truly was a challenge, because as you can see, this is just a dust bowl. That's what it was. And with the black sand beach, it's sometimes a little more difficult to work with than the traditional white sand beaches. But I think that the teams did well. Our technical people from TEF and TPDCO, who drove the process, were enough to the task, and they did a great job. And I'm satisfied that it didn't take us as long as we thought. In fact, we figured it might have been a little over a year when we started, but we were able to do it within a year, and I thank them for that efficiency.
And that brings to a close the official opening of Marking Stone Beach here in Onoto Bay, St. Mary. I'm Javon Keys for Business Access TV, serious about business.
I wanted to be an educator because I believe that education is the most powerful weapon that can change the world.
My dreams and aspiration is to one day become an entrepreneur where I can employ other persons and help to build the country.
I wanted to go into development. I wanted to help people become better versions of themselves. Growing up, I saw a lot of violence, I saw a lot of crime, I saw a lot of poverty. The challenges are so many. The first one that comes to mind is the level of youth unemployment that's here.
Challenges that exist here in West Prospect Bogwalk are lack of awareness for educational opportunities or job opportunities.
Not many got the chance to do CXC or graduate from the secondary level. So that's a major setback for the people living in the community.
A way to alleviate this issue is training programs.
They need more opportunities, like to go back to school to get themselves a certificate so they can be able to work and create employment for themselves and their family.
Push more entrepreneurship opportunity, encourage these youths to be creative and innovative in what they do. Give them startup capital to start their business. Invest more in the youth skills and talents.
The Poverty Reduction Program is funded by the European Union, and it really is a program that focuses on the most vulnerable type of communities, making communities safer, making citizens more healthy, better access to education.
For European Union, investing in youth is an obvious choice. They are the future of the country. If we prepare them well, they will bring the change that Jamaica needs. That's why we invest in scholarships, internship, training in life skills and mentorship.
I received a tertiary scholarship from PRP to attend the University of Technology, Jamaica. It meant a lot to me because I realized that somebody else believed in me and somebody saw the potential that I have and somebody believed that I could actually achieve my goal.
I benefited by getting firstly an internship, and also they assisted my bachelor's degree financially. But critically, outside of the finances, the persons that were on the project, the motivation that they provided, etc., it really provided a huge boost.
This is my third year at the MICO. This scholarship, it helped me to be able to focus only on my education here, because tertiary education is not cheap.
I was placed at ODPEM on the one-year internship program. It was really good. It was an opportunity for me to prove myself, to give myself of service, and also to gain experience in the working world, and to also provide for my family.
I plan to be an agent of change in my community by being a mentor, a leader, and a godfather for the youths growing up. Try to help them, teach them a trade.
You don't have to be rich to help. You don't have to achieve greatness to start. I contributed to my basic school by providing them with the necessary resources that they need, that I believe that in the long run, it will have a ripple effect on many, many persons.
Professionally, I manage the whole program, which is aimed at giving young persons the opportunity to, do what I did, basically, to get their foot inside an organization. Additionally, I also have a little small business that I try to employ young persons to learn a skill, etc.
When you're persistent in life, when you're determined, when you're hungry for success, then you'll be able to accomplish and achieve anything that you want.
It has changed hundreds and hundreds of lives. Not just my life, my family lives, my friends' lives, etc. I want to just urge everyone looking on to continue these social programs. These are the solutions to the many ills that we face as a society and as a country and even as a world. So thank you, and I challenge you, continue it. It's needed.
Sundays at 4:30 p.m. It's all about Home Sweet Home. Get your half-hour dose of the business of real estate, from laws and concepts to reality, building, buying, or renting. Or what about trends in decor or renovations? Home Sweet Home will keep you up to date.
On this episode of Wealth Magazine, we feature Chris Daring, CEO of Ready TV. Fascinated by sports, Daring has made this an integral part of his life, a passion which led to his first experience in the corporate world as an intern at Citibank. Over time, Daring proved to be a successful serial entrepreneur, with his newest undertaking being Ready TV, a venture that promises to revolutionize the telecommunications landscape.
I'm Chris Daring, President and CEO of Ready Communications. Born in Kingston, grew up in Mona, so I was a Mona boy. Grew up as a young footballer, cricketer, in playing football and cricket in Mona. In fact, every day, my entire childhood, I think of every day of playing football in Buttercup Park, which was right behind the house. I grew up in a very close-knit family, very disciplinarian family. My father was an engineer, very bright man, but a very strict disciplinarian when it came to things like academics. My mother was also quite strict and very keen on academics as well. So you certainly did your homework every evening and more with her. And she had I always remember that she had just such an extensive vocabulary, you know, that you learned quite quickly. I have two brothers, one older, one younger, and an older sister, who was particularly influential in my life because of how bright she was. Because you were always being compared to her. You know, your grades were never ever good enough because she never ever got a B. It was always straight A's, that type of thing. And so you sort of were always intimidated. You never grew up under any illusion of male superiority. She was faster than me as well, so she could run pretty quickly, and she was brighter than me, so you always had this healthy level of respect. So it was a normal household, but you know, we would have dinners together and family vacations together. And it wasn't, you know, it was a middle class upbringing. We didn't have money for extravagances, but and I know there were very tough times for them. There was a period when my father was out of a job, but you would never know as a child. There was always meals on the table. There was always goodies and presents and Christmas parties and birthday parties. And looking back, I realized, wow, these two wonderful parents shielded me from everything, because I know that there must have been tough times. So that was a great upbringing, and I think it really helped to form, you know, who I am today. My life is a series of events that changed the trajectory of my life. And so, looking back, the first major event took place in prep school at St. Teresa's Prep, where I was in kindergarten A. I just finished kindergarten A and was moving into kindergarten B. And I was sitting in the classroom in kindergarten B. And I remember the day the nun came for me and took me over to the big school and put me in second grade. I didn't know what grade I was being put in, but I just remember being taken out of kindergarten with all my friends and taken over to the big school, because they were like two separate parts of the St. Teresa's Prep. And they put me in second grade. And halfway through the term, the nuns called my parents in for a meeting, because even though I was keeping up with the schoolwork, I was falling asleep, I was getting tired during the days. And they were worried that I was malnourished because I was a little small for a 7-year-old. That's when my mother said, but he's only 4. They had made a clerical error and had put me in second grade. I was 4 years old when they did that. But I guess because of the upbringing of my parents, I was keeping up with the schoolwork. But physically, I was getting tired. So even though I laugh and I think about I was the only person, because they made special arrangements. Because by that point, they could not put me back into kindergarten. I'm a second grader. But they made special arrangements every day where they would take me out for nap time. And I was the only person that had that privilege in second grade. So, but what happened is, why it changed the trajectory was it put me way ahead of my peers. But also when I finished prep school, I was too young to be able to sit the common entrance because you had to be 11. And so even though I finished top of the class in prep school in 6th grade, I could not sit the common entrance. So you literally had to find something for me to do. And in those days, there was a private high school by the name of Campion that was not part of the normal public secondary school system. They were a private high school. Campion then changed my trajectory, because being a private school, it was a school where the wealthy of Jamaica sent their children. And I saw a different side of Jamaica that I had never dreamt of. I saw wealth that I had never dreamt of. I saw cars that I had never dreamt of. People were, being dropped to school in cars. I was one of the few people at Campion taking the bus to school and back. So, it introduced me to a whole new world of Jamaica, and lifelong, again, friends and contacts that happened to be the top of the business world. And in fact, when I walked into first form, I didn't see anybody that kind of looked like me. There were very few people that looked like me. You're talking about just a different look, because it was a different social strata. And I went and sat down beside one person that kind of looked like me, and it turned out to be Peter Bunting. And so we've remained lifelong friends ever since. So high school for me was a blur of sports. That's what I remember. I just played every sport you could think of because I love sports, and sports has always been a driving passion. I was absolutely sure I was going to play professional football or cricket for the West Indies. And I started off on the cricket side, I ended up playing on the 19 team with guys like Courtney Walsh and Patrick Patterson. We had a very strong team, and we went down to a tournament in the Eastern Caribbean, in Trinidad, I think it was, where we came up on a side called Little Leeward Islands. And I was batting number 3 for Jamaica, so I was a big bat and felt pretty good about myself and my technique and so on, and my talent level. And then there was a number 3 for Leeward Islands that when he came to the wicket and started smashing Courtney Walsh and Patrick Patterson around the park, and I'm looking at this guy and I'm saying, I can't bat like that. You feel pretty good about yourself, but you look at this guy and you go, wow, you see the gap between yourself and this awesome talent. That guy turned out to be Richard Richardson, that was playing for the Leeward Islands, who ended up captaining the West Indies team at one point. And then I started to get a lot of pressure from my parents, especially my father, because this sports thing, this sports hobby in his mind was just not the avenue for somebody like me. And so he started to pressure me, and at one point I'd been getting all these offers of football scholarships that I kept turning down because I wanted to stay out here and play professional football, eventually go to England maybe, or play for the West Indies in cricket. So he eventually gave me an ultimatum. You either take up a football scholarship or he's sending me to military school. So I ended up taking a football scholarship to West Virginia Wesleyan. Came back from West Virginia to Jamaica thinking, well, I now have it made. I have a degree in marketing and economics. I'm gonna go get a job and start my corporate career. But I was in for a rude awakening because Jamaica, like everywhere else in the world, it's who you know and contacts and family connection. So I ended up writing over 100 letters and sending out applications to over 100 companies in Jamaica. I did not get a single interview.
How we are going with all of that? You're moving?
No. I'm a passport, I come for renewing, you know. But you want me to show me no in that place full of crowd and the long line I take you all day. Make sure you walk with some food. And...
No, man, things improve, man. Them have a lot of drop box where you can use inside. They finish in no time. Yeah, man, them are done.
Yeah. And some food, man. Try this. A drop box.
Transformation is happening across the public sector. Many services are now available online. We are building a better public service for all. Brought to you by the Transformation Implementation Unit.
So I ended up writing over 100 letters and sending out applications to over 100 companies in Jamaica. I did not get a single interview. So it was a very depressing summer where you're just reading all these rejection letters. Not even an interview, like nobody was even interested in seeing me. And then sports again came to my rescue. And another event took place that changed my trajectory. I was playing for Real Mona, which has been my lifelong team that I've always played for. And the coach at the time was a guy called Peter Moses, who was also at Citibank. Peter, I think, noticed I was able to come to practice early every day because I wasn't working. And so Peter, he did something that I'll thank him forever. He created a little post inside of Citibank, even against his own HR manager's objections, called an intern, so that I could come in, I get a little stipend, and understudy one of the main managers on managing corporate accounts. And as it turned out, I was understudying this young lady, and she met in a car accident, a very serious car accident. So somebody had to take over and manage the portfolio. I wasn't a full-time employee, but I'd been handling them. I'd been understudying her. So Peter kind of maneuvered me into being able to take over the portfolio. I started to do quite well with the portfolio, so they made me an offer full-time, and I went to Citibank, and of course that opened me to a whole new world of finance and international finance and investment banking, and they trained me on the job. I reunited with a schoolboy friend, Peter Bunting, at Citibank, and again we made the linkage again, and that is the genesis of how Daring, Bunting and Golding was formed. Peter went off and became the CEO of a small merchant bank, new merchant bank called Manufacturers Merchant. Around the same time, a group approached me to set up another merchant bank called Corporate Merchant. So I became the CEO of Corporate Merchant. There was a young attorney who was in fact not even a full-time attorney yet. He was still studying law at Oxford. But he was also a Campionite who we were all friends with. I used to play cricket with him, called Mark Golding. And Mark was just so bright that both Peter and I used to use him to structure any complex transactions whilst he was a student in law school. He was so bright. So one day we were still friends even though we were competing in the market. We were having lunch and we sort of were talking to each other about the deals we had been doing, and we kind of said, we should have probably have done it for ourselves rather than for these other entities, corporate and manufacturers and so on. And it stuck with me that it was a Friday and I was going to Negril that weekend with some friends, and I guess in a drunken stupor in Negril partying, it just occurred to me, it kept occurring to me that line, we should have done it for ourselves. And I came back from Negril, I called Peter on the Monday morning and told him I've just resigned from corporate. are you in or are you out? And of course he was like, what are you talking about? I said, we just spoke on Friday that, listen, let's do it for ourselves. And he said, but that was just an idea. I said, Peter, I've already resigned. Because that's what I did. I went in and resigned and said, listen, I'm going to start an investment bank. And so we started Daring, Bunting and Golding, which started in the living room of the townhouse I was renting. And to demonstrate to the public what investment banking was, we said, let us take ourselves public. And so we launched Daring, Bunting and Golding. We raised capital from the market. And a really interesting thing happened the evening we successfully closed that share issue. And you have to understand, that had never been done really before on the Jamaica Stock Exchange. The Jamaica Stock Exchange was seen as this, really the kingdom of major corporations. So for three little youngsters to decide that they're going to launch their own investment bank and raise capital and list on the stock exchange, it was quite controversial and very high profile at the time because of its controversy. I recall, columnists writing about this travesty which was about to take place, and this, it was just seen as crazy. But something really interesting happened the evening that we had successfully closed that issue. We were driving in Mark's, I think it must have been a 1970 Fiat. I mean, it was really a beat-up old car. And we're driving from Duncox and North, where we had the closing of the issue, to Peppers to meet all our friends who were gathered there to celebrate. This thing had never been done before, and we were going to be listed on the Jamaica Stock Exchange. And on Knutsford Boulevard, Mark's car broke down. And so the three of us, Daring, Bunting and Golding, ended up pushing Mark Golding's car all the way up Knutsford Boulevard to Mikey Holdings gas station at the top of the road. And it has always been a reminder for us, because here it was, we were related, we had raised all this money, and we were pushing a car up Knutsford Boulevard. And it really, kept us grounded, I think, for the rest of the time. During the time at the DBNG, then the West Indies Cricket Board came calling. And of course, being just a sports fanatic, and I always have been, I always will be a sports fanatic. When the West Indies Cricket Board comes to you and says to you, listen, we want you to give us some time, we want to help, we want you to set up the commercial operations of the West Indies Cricket Board and also pull together the region's bid to host the Cricket World Cup. It was an offer that was just, too good to refuse. And in fact, I thought they were asking me to do it for free. I didn't realize they were actually talking to me as a paid consultant. Frankly, I had lunch with Pat Russo, who I was meeting for the first time, and Teddy Griffith from the West Indies Board. And they outlined it to me, and I went home all excited, thinking, okay, well, I'm going to be like Pat, who is a volunteer, and Teddy as a volunteer to do this thing. And then they started sending me over contracts with money and how much they were going to pay me to do it. And I was like, wow, that was just the icing on the cake, because I was already made up my mind I was going to go and do it. Now they were going to pay me to do it, to be a paid professional. And that again changed my trajectory, because it introduced me to a world, the commercial world of the business of sport, that I had no idea really existed. You kind of have a fleeting idea, but you did not understand how complex, how intricate, how exciting it is, So I ended up going to the West Indies Cricket Board. I set up the commercial operations of the board, hired different people, set up all of our broadcast rights contracts. I negotiated for years the broadcast rights agreements in the UK, in India, in Pakistan, in South Africa, Australia, the US. So that introduced me to a whole new world, because then you had to start doing negotiations and regular meetings with people like ESPN and Sky Sports and so on. So I got introduced to a fascinating world. And it was one day I was sitting in the skybox at a Chelsea match. Now, I'm not a Chelsea fan, I'm an Arsenal fan, let me make it clear. But it just happened to be a game Sky had invited me to. So I'm sitting there, it was 1999. And I'm sitting there watching this football match, and I didn't realize who I was sitting beside, but we were talking football. And he realized from how passionate I was and how knowledgeable I was about the game and the players and who had been the latest transfers and and so on. He said to me, so the Barclays Premiership is very popular in the Caribbean. I said, yes, it is, but we don't get to see it live. He says, oh yes, that's right. We sell it as a part of the North American package of rights. So we don't, it's, the Caribbean is far too small for us to deal with. So I said to him, would you carve off the Caribbean? And I'm thinking I'd come down back to the Caribbean and try to sell it to the local stations to put it on so I could get to see my beloved Arsenal play. And he said, no, he happened to be the commercial director of the Barclays Premiership. And he said, no, it's too small, not interested. It would be too much hassle, for them at the Barclays Premiership to try and sell those rights directly into the Caribbean. So I didn't press it. We watched football, we chatted football and had a great time. And then at halftime, we were having dinner. And he says to me, tell me something, do you know Courtney Walsh? And my ears pricked up and said, yes, Courtney is one of my best friends. And he was still playing cricket at the time. He was playing for the West Indies. And he was playing for Gloucester, so he was in England at the time. And he said, well, I'll tell you what. My son is a fanatic about Courtney Walsh. He's a young fast bowler. His 15th birthday is coming up. He's modeled himself off of Courtney Walsh and everything, just idolizes Courtney Walsh. If you can get me an autographed picture of Courtney Walsh, I'll see what I can do about carving off the Caribbean rights. Well, I called Courtney right away. Courtney took him out to lunch, him and his son out to lunch, had a training session with the kid, and that was the genesis of Sportsmax. He carved off the Caribbean Barclays Premiership rights for me. We bought it at a steal, virtually nothing, and we said, okay, what to do? I took it to the 2 stations that I knew of in Jamaica and a couple of stations in Trinidad. Nobody was interested in showing the Barclays Premier League. So I said, well, what do I do with these rights? Let me start a sports channel. And so right on a plane, I did a little PowerPoint presentation with the logo and everything, came up with the name Sportsmax, and launched Sportsmax in 2001. Cable and Wireless had fallen on pretty hard times. They were being decimated by the competition, and I think that's what attracted me the most. To get into an industry that I was already familiar with through the sports rights, and turn around a company. One of the first things we were able to do is to turn around the market in terms of its own mobile market share, which had been down in the doldrums, and turn around the brand. So that was an exciting opportunity. For us to have such a significant portion of the population not being exposed to all of this information really holds us back.
They say it takes a village to raise a child, but the world will one day need the leadership of that child. The time you spend with your child matters. It stimulates their minds and shapes the way they act. Talk with your children. Help them to better understand the world around them and to value what is truly precious. Above all, the most valuable gift you can give them is love. Play, talk, teach, love. Take the time. It makes all the difference. A message from the Parenting Helpline and Ad Council Jamaica.
Ready TV is the first product of what we're anticipating to be a range of telecommunications related products. It is a pay TV platform. It is a pay TV service that we're going to roll out in Jamaica, where we should be rolled out by the first quarter 2017. We want to be the affordable choice for Jamaicans. We have a 12-year license that we were just awarded by the Broadcast Commission. And we're going to be rolling out that service that I think Jamaicans are going to be very, very pleased to receive. Most of Jamaica, or certainly a very significant part of Jamaica, still only gets free-to-air analog television. Our goal is to totally change that. Cable television or pay TV and the programming and information of pay TV is still the most important, ubiquitous way of sharing information and education. So for us to have such a significant portion of the population not being exposed to all of this information really holds us back. It is the starter pack for broadband. You know, so everybody's talking about getting internet into everybody's homes. In reality, let's first get basic, proper television into everybody's home. And I think, you know, people are going to be very surprised and very, very pleased on both counts, both the convenience and the affordability. And basically our tagline of TV when you are ready is going to be very apt in describing Ready TV service. It is not possible to compete if you don't back yourself. Because life is a competition. Anything that you're going to do, you're going to be competing against somebody. And if you don't back yourself, you have no chance, either against the strongest competitor or the weakest competitor. You have to back yourself. You have to believe in your ability to overcome whatever challenges are going to face you. You know, I see so many people coming out of UWI, and a lot of them are women. The vast majority of them are women. But for some reason, society has almost trained them not to back themselves. They're the ones that need to be taking the entrepreneurial risks. They have the foundation. And they have far more ability to compete. They just don't realize it. Now, more and more women are realizing that. But generally, whether male or female, you have no confidence in your ability, you'll never succeed. And confidence does not mean arrogance. It means just believing that, hey, if I don't know what I need to know, I can find out what I need to know and learn it. A lot of people think I'm a snob, which is strange. Yeah. It's strange to me, but I understand it. I'll tell you something. I'm terrified of flying, for instance. As much as I fly, I know. And my friends know this, my close friends know this, because they know the night before I have to fly, I find difficulty sleeping. And there's just something in my brain that just won't comprehend how they're keeping this huge monstrosity of a machine up in the air for 14 hours, like when I have to make a trip to India or somewhere. So I'm afraid of flying. So when I walk into a plane, one of the things that gets me nervous is when I actually look back in the plane and see this long cabin full of people. So I will totally just ignore everybody, you know, and there'll be people back there who know me, who trying to catch my eye to even say hi, and I'm not looking back because I know I'm anxious. And then that's then misinterpreted as, hey, Chris, why is such a snob kind of thing. But it's really, I just can't look back. And then of course, it's almost impossible to be a snob if you play football. I mean, football is played in the ghettos of Jamaica. That's who you grow up with as your friends, that, you know, people who you love. I garden every day, in the morning before I go to work, at night when I get home. And gardening ranges everything from plants, breaking off a piece of a plant and plant it and trying to get it to catch. So yes, I'm a kleptomaniac when it comes to plants. I go to people's houses and break off pieces and steal plants. To watering, just watering the garden just relaxes me quite a bit. Of course, I have a fantastic family. I have a beautiful wife and a fantastic 4-year-old daughter who keeps me very energized. I have a 22-year-old son who gives me nothing but trouble, so that always keeps you on edge as well. It occupies your time, and so I enjoy spending a lot of time with them, and so I enjoy that quite a bit. My wife is Brazilian, so, you know, again, these things, trajectories and events that take you into the unbeaten world. The funny thing is, football is still my favorite sport. As much as time I've spent in cricket, I'm fanatic over football. So I've been to every football World Cup since 1990, you know, and I always pretended to be Brazilian, except in 98, of course, when Jamaica went, because I just loved the way the Brazilians played and celebrated the game. Going to a Brazil Football World Cup game, that party starts 6 o'clock in the morning and ends 6 o'clock the next morning. It's a fantastic, just to be part of the Brazilian continent. So I would put on my Brazilian shirt and go to all these matches pretending to be Brazilian. So when I met this really beautiful Brazilian girl who happened to be working for Cable & Wireless in Miami, you know, I guess fate kind of ended up bringing us together. Wealth is being able to enjoy your life, and so It doesn't mean that you have a lot of money. It means that you satisfy the money you have and enjoy it to ensure that you have a quality of life that for you and your family that you want to enjoy. And I certainly feel wealthy because I have incredible friends that I have a great time with. I have an incredible family that I have a good time with, and we're able to put food on the table and put people through college, and so I feel wealthy because of that.
All human life is precious. Respect life. No more senseless killings. No more.
Despite the dark clouds surrounding the future of many Jamaican youth, Dream Jamaica is helping to shine some light by inspiring and empowering students to positively impact their world.
My first involvement was in 2009 when my friend told me about the summer program. I then decided, I spoke with my parents, of course, to get consent to attend the program. We first started out at the University of the West Indies. That's the first localized program that was offered at the University of the West Indies. So that's my very first time participating, where we met professionals, we went on tours, we visited different businesses and went on various excursions. We learned a lot of skills such as study skills, resume writing, something that seems as simple but it's very important, such as how to create a professional email address and all of those things. So it was really a great experience, and after that I decided to attend every single year. Dream Jamaica is a safe place for high school students to come and interact, right, and to learn from each other and to learn from professionals as well. So we're a non-profit organization that was formed in 2008. Our mission is to provide mentoring relationships with students, along with educational and professional opportunities that will inspire and empower high school students to achieve their dreams, accomplish their goals, and to positively impact on their communities through service learning projects. So our program involves year-round mentoring, as well as our quarterly community service projects. We also have a webinar series, and in the summer we have various programs that we offer to our students, such as the exploration program, that's for first and second farmers. We have the Career Discover program for third and fourth farmers, and the internship program, that's for sixth farmers, upper sixth farmers, and then backtracking. We have the college prep program, that's for fifth and lower sixth students. So we do the recruiting process. On a regular basis, they would have to matriculate through the programs from exploration onwards, but we do have students who come into our program and they're in sixth form but they haven't gone through the other programs. But the internship program is for sixth formers. So what we do is we recruit those students, and then we liaise and communicate with local organizations and form a partnership. So through doing that now, in the whole process, we find out what career path the students want to venture on. For example, if they want to become a doctor, what we'll do is to communicate with the hospital to get an internship placement there. So the students would learn work etiquette, They'll learn professional skills, they'll build their networking skills, and they'll also acquire various exposure as it relates to that specific field that they want to enter in. The webinar session was recently introduced since last year, 2015. It's a new facet of our program offerings. So the webinar series is entitled The Superheroes Among Us. So it's the last Sunday of each month, except for December and March, where we have the public holidays. So the first webinar was in October, where we had Gordon Swaby of Edufocal. He's the CEO of Edufocal. Then we had Tari Lavelle from Digicel. And in January, everyone was all excited about having Zara Burton. She's Miss Jamaica Universe 2001, as well as the host of 18 Degrees North. She was on January. And in February, we had Dwayne Samuels. He's the CEO of Griply. So it's very exciting. It's geared towards inspiring the students, informing them, and the end result is where we'll have empowered students. Because the professionals, they come in, they relate to the students so well, and they open up to them, hey, I didn't have it all one time. I was in a position like you. Not to say that all our students are in a position where, you know, they're not financially constrained, because we don't limit our program to those students only. We welcome everyone into our programs. But having the professionals coming in, right? They're local professionals. I don't know if I mentioned that before. But what we do is to get them to come in to identify with the students, so the students can say, hey, it's not impossible. I can achieve my dream. He did it. I can do it too. Even if it's not the same profession or the same field that they want to go in, but it's to show that I can do it. So they come in, they tell them their background, where they're from, which school they went to, what was their dream as a child, explain to them what's the path they're on now and how they got there. They basically tell them, hey, you need to do this, you need to do that. It's all in a half an hour to an hour session. You know, it's not very long, but at least they walk away being empowered. We're funded through corporate sponsorship as well as individual sponsorship. So we really use a grassroots effect as well. So anyone who wants to contribute can do so. It doesn't matter how much you have. So there's a link on the Dream Jamaica website where you can go and donate. And you can also write a check to the organization. We're a nonprofit, as we said before, so we really depend on external corporations and individuals to help in executing our mission and accomplishing whatever goals we have set out as it relates to empowering and impacting on the students. There is an application form for volunteers. There's a link on our website as well, www.dreamjamaica.org. You just click on the link and it will take you to the online form. You'd have to provide of course, your personal information, a little bit of background about yourself. And in order to protect our students, because, you know, when they're in our environment, we have to protect them, you will have to provide a reference from a JP, you know, Justice of the Peace, or a pastor, basically a notable person from the community, in order for us to actually accept you into the program, as well as your resume and all of that. And we'll definitely do a face-to-face interview. One of my most memorable experiences was when I actually came back to volunteer as a program coordinator for the Career Discover program. It was the day of the closing ceremony. A parent called me and she was like, Miss Balicia, thank you so much. I've realized such a difference in my son, right? The program has helped me, has transformed, because we are having a little bit of, you know, domestic issue and so forth, and it was weighing him down, like in his behavior and all of that. So him coming to the program, the mother saw a change that occurred in her son, and she actually called to thank the program. So that was one of the a memorable experience for me. I was like, wow, this program is so wonderful, because I know what it did for me, but to really hear from a parent, you know, she has seen where the program has impacted on her child, and then she reached out to actually thank the organization. That was a very great moment. That moment really stood out for me.
Coming up on Caring Hands.
say it takes a village to raise a child, but the world will one day need the leadership of that child. The time you spend with your child matters. It stimulates their minds and shapes the way they act. Talk with your children. Help them to better understand the world around them and to value what is truly precious. Above all, the most valuable gift you can give them is love. Play, talk, teach, love. Take the time. It makes all the difference. A message from the Parenting Helpline and Ad Council Jamaica.
Business current affairs you can relate to. Frank, credible discussion. On Point with Kalila Reynolds and Dennis Chung. Dissecting the issues, offering solutions to Jamaica's challenges. On Point, Thursdays at 8 p.m. on Business Access TV.
Each Dream Jamaican participant who successfully completes the summer program leaves having explored their passion, developed a portfolio of high school successes, and embarked on a path towards achieving their goals in life.
Being a participant has been very fun over the years. Got the chance to go to places that I've never been, or even revisit places that I always loved. Get to meet new people, professional people, make friends, and build bonds that I'm sure will last. In the 9th grade 2014, as we approached summer, I had this friend in my class who was a participant. He introduced the movement to me, saying that I should participate as well. And being young, not having much to do, I agreed to come on board as well. So I said, why not? And he helped me in order to sign up and get ready as it approached summer. To get in the Dream Jamaica initiative. I've grown a lot in terms of me knowing what I'd want to do with my life, and it has helped me grow morally, learning more about the world, the work world, and how to approach everything in it. I participated in all of the areas that Dream Jamaica offered. So I participated in the community services, the summer programs, the webinars, and even the workshops as well. What I love most about the community service aspect of Dream Jamaica, it lets you focus on someone other than yourself, to give off yourself. Just actually reach out as far as you can, helping the community, helping others around you. The webinar, they help you to build yourself, be more sure of what you would want to become in life, through interacting with persons who have been in these categories that you plan to consider. For persons who this coming up summer won't be having anything to do, I'd encourage you to come, make use of your time, because it's a really good movement, good people. You learn new things that you haven't heard of before, build new experiences, new bonds, friendships, all of that.
I've been a part of Dream Jamaica since 2012. That's 5 years now. Currently a student at the Calabar High School. My first year hearing about the program, I did not know what to expect, and I never really know what Dream Jamaica was. But after coming to the program, getting exposure, getting information, getting knowledge, because I was in a deep abyss about what I wanted to be. And I knew what I wanted, but I didn't know what or how would I achieve my goals. And through Dream Jamaica, they saw influence and potential in me, and they decided to build on that potential. And because of that, I didn't stop. I continued to go from the time I started. And that really helped me, and I really appreciate them for that. In grade 8, I had this very lovely form teacher that also taught me English and literature. Her name is Mrs. Archer Anderson. And she heard about the program and heard that it's a good program, and being the person that she is, came and distributed the information to the class. Now, not many persons were interested, but I was interested, and me and about 6 others went to her and got the information, and that is how we signed up, and from we have started, we haven't stopped.
Shamil, who is the founder of Dream Jamaica, is a past student of St. Jago High School, which I'm also a past student. So when I was in 3rd form, she came to drop off some items in regards to giving back to the labs and stuff. You know, you're a past student, you want to give back to your school kind of thing. And she came to devotion and did devotion, and she introduced herself. And when she was telling me personally on the sideline, she said, she looked at us and said, we lacked a dream. So I was like, okay. And then now she said to us, write your name, your aspiration, and your contact information on a piece of paper and say, you know, we'll contact you in regards to anything that will come up. And within a couple of weeks, I got a call from her saying that, would you like to go to Los Angeles to an aviation camp? So, so she called and said, I was like, what? You serious? How much is it going to cost? And she was like, don't worry about the money. So I was like, okay. And then in no time, I was in Los Angeles flying planes for a week. In Dream Jamaica, another exercise really was that we had to do voluntary work, whether it's our beach cleanups, annual beach cleanups at Port Royal, or we go to our children's home to feed the less fortunate. There are other different activities that was done in regards to volunteerism. And even just being on the team to know that you're volunteering, your fulfillment is know that you're making lives better in the end.
Coming up on Caring Hands.
It's season 12, and Wealth Magazine Business Access is here to keep you business savvy. With an impressive mix of some of Jamaica's most inspiring business moguls, we continue to keep Jamaica informed, empowered, and ready to dominate. Tune in Sundays at 5 p.m. only on BATV.
You're watching
Business Access.
Business Access.
Business Access.
Business Access TV.
Serious about business.
Go for God Family Church.
Today's message is for those of you who thought that Jesus was finished.
Inspiring messages.
I'm here to tell you today that you are excellent. God is excellent.
Empowerment from biblical motivation.
To be glorified means to endow with authority. A woman is a powerful, creative being.
Join Pastor Christopher Morgan and the Go for God team as we go for God.
Cameo brings the creative industries to life. Delighting creatives in different fields each week. Art.
My life turns art. I breathe, I eat art.
Fashion. Food.
Without a customer, we're nothing but 4 walls.
Music. Film. Cameo, only on Business Access TV.
Violence against women is a violation of human rights. Its impact ranges from immediate to long-term physical, mental, and sexual consequences, sometimes resulting in death. It negatively impacts women's general well-being and can prevent us from fully participating in society. be a better human being. No more violence against women. No more.
The Dream Jamaica team recently completed their community projects, which showed them giving back to the community.
When this land was developing, the parents asked that instead of taking the children down by Gregor Park in the sun and rain sometime, we, could open one here. So I started one on my veranda with 15 students. And there, at the time, the place wasn't developed. I have up to 90 odd children. I have to turn my bedroom also into classroom. And then I had shed outside as the population grew. So the shed was not pleasing to the eye, call it that. And one day a worker from SDC was passing and the children and stopped and asked if this is a school. And I told her yes, and she said, you can get help from JSIF. And so I attend a meeting and apply, and then the school was built. It was completed in 2002. My teachers are well trained because grade 5 teacher, she have her diploma in primary education, and she's also trained at art, early childhood. She's seeking about going into do her first degree come September. She's here with me she just leave high school, and she take time, move the letter, went to Michael. She went to Michael, got her diploma, and the other teachers have 2 more. This teacher here, class 2, and one in class 1, hoping to go to Michael this coming year. Where the school is situated, it is well protected around. From the school built, we don't have any break-in and things, so the community respect the school. And I'm glad about that, and the children, they are well protected until they are picked up by their parents. And they have trained teachers and volunteers coming to help them. You saw some ladies in blue, they are from art. From time to time, we take in volunteers, teachers who want to do the teaching practice from colleges and things. We have several of them because the school was even given a plaque from Michael because of the amount of student teacher we help out. One of my past students is Christopher Reed. He used to attend this school. He's now attending Calabar. He is in 6th form, I think, in lower 6. And he came to me one day and told me that his club that he is in want to do a project, and he was thinking of his basic school. So I told him, yeah, man, anything. And then he get back to me and said they are thinking of painting the school, but they were thinking of outside. But on the day that they came, they said the school is small, so they think that they could do both in and out. So they, they started. Rain was a factor too. Rain came down, but because they weren't professionals, they were just doing their thing. It took them the old days, so they couldn't get to do outside. But I'm grateful anyhow because I've received some paint. Right now, the kitchen cupboards, they're old, 15 years now, and especially the part to the sink, it is being water soaked. And, it's going apart. I mean to see the little shells dropping down. And I'm supposed to, it is required from early childhood that we have a 3rd sink. So, if I could get the kitchen rehabilitated, I would be glad. We're thinking of adding on another classroom down the back there for both storage, because we need storage area too. So that the next building that we're adding on would use it as an extra curriculum classroom with storage area.
I want to say to Dream Jamaica that they should continue nurturing the youth and turning them into responsible citizens and assets to the country that will help us in the long run and continue doing the good work.
It's not just an organization, but I refer to Dream Jamaica as a Dream Jamaica family. The word family, it provides a comfort. You're comfortable here, you feel welcome, it's warm, you're built. When you're in a relationship or so forth, that helps you to grow and it helps to nurture you. And you feel a part of that entity that builds people. There's no way you can walk away from that. Everyone wants to grow. Everyone wants to feel accepted. Everyone wants to feel as if, hey, I can accomplish something. You want to be around persons that are positive and that will give you motivational talks. Tell you that, hey, don't you think that you can't do that? You can. If you put your mind to it, you can. You want to be around persons like that, right? And the Dream Jamaica family, they really do that. They really do.
Now presenting the Jamaica Social Investment Fund ICDP Enterprise Development Project, Entrepreneurial Grant, Business Pitch.
This project is a $100 million grant that's seeking to target 50 small and micro business enterprises and give them training, capacity development, equipment, permits and license towards the development and the viability of their business. We have made a call for proposal in March of this year for entrepreneurs to submit for the opportunity to receive a grant between $1 and $5 million. We received more than 500 applications, and so we have now shortlisted them to 100. So we've invited that top 100 applicants here today, and they're going to have to pitch their business idea to a panel, and of the 150 will actually transpire and win the opportunity for the grants. One of the primary objectives of what we're doing here is employment. We want the business to be able to sustain not only the principals as the owners, but we also want the business to be able to employ at least 2 people. The next part of it, as we do in all of our projects like this, is it provides a learning instrument of how we can engage small and micro enterprises and take them to the next level.
Why we're doing this rigorous process because we want to identify the best potential entrepreneurs for this project. And keep in mind that we are speaking about a loan, so we want to ensure that the applicants are committed and that from a sustainability point of view, that upon receiving the support from JSIP, that in 2 or 3 years, the enterprises will still be operational and the broader objective of the project would be achieved. Once we have now equipped them and they should be ready to start the production line going, we'll then have a mentorship component.
It has been a very competitive process. Jamaica is filled with persons with drive and passion. We're expecting that the best will be selected. And then for those who are not successful, we are also hoping to link them to other providers of services, because I'm telling you today, from what I've seen, it is an excellent, excellent, excellent opportunity. It's worthy of note that many persons coming here today already have some kind of semblance of a business, but they need the additional support to move that business to the other level, as well as some persons are coming with just proposals to start from scratch. On behalf of the JSIF, we want to really thank the DBJ and other partners from UWI who came to be part of the panel, and just to remind you that the JSIF is here and we're investing for community development.
business current affairs you can relate to. Frank, credible discussion. On Point with Kalila Reynolds and Dennis Chung. Dissecting the issues, offering solutions to Jamaica's challenges. On Point, Thursdays at 8 p.m. on Business Access TV.
Our women are the backbone of our society. They deserve to be protected and respected. Domestic violence is not okay. Speak up and speak out. No more violence against women. Your business matters. Business Access TV offers you the most innovative and effective advertising solution for your business, specializing in B2B sales, cost-effective solutions, the customers you want, the repetition you need. No matter the size and nature of your company, your business matters. Call us at 876-618-2870 or email us at sales@batvja.com. Business Access TV, serious about business.
We are back with another exciting, innovative, and inspiring season.
It takes a lot of stick-to-itiveness, being